Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Thank you so much for staying with us. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live on MixLR. We see y'all out there. We appreciate y'all listening to us, keeping the lights on, and keeping Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is one of the highest rated shows on the network that we on. So we appreciate the love that we getting. Thank you so much, guys. Here a little bit. It's a little bit of busting loose there. We get a little Chuck Brown tonight. You know, every single week we got a theme. Tonight's theme is go-go music. We giving some love to the folks up in D.C. So that's how we rolling tonight. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. At this time, we're gonna go and introduce our guest on the live line with us. It's a student at Georgia State University, a film student who's made quite a few short films and is endeavoring and continuing that trend going forward. We got Ndosi Anyabwile on the live line with us. What's going on, brother?
I'm going good. How's everything?
Doing wonderful, man. Thank you so much, first of all, for agreeing to join us on the show. It's an honor to talk to you. As you know, I had an opportunity to see some of your films. And once I had an opportunity to do that, I definitely wanted to have you on the line, especially with it being Black History Month. I wanted to take an opportunity to kind of highlight a young filmmaker and kind of pick your brain a little bit about some of the things that you've seen. So that's kind of the tenor of the interview tonight, and I appreciate you once again agreeing to join us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. The first question I'm going to ask you is just your inspiration. As a student at Georgia State, when you enrolled there and you decided that filmmaking was going to be something that you wanted to do, what was your inspiration? What caused you to choose that path?
Usually a lot of the YouTube videos I see inspire me. People like Freddie Wong and Corridor Digital. From looking at those YouTube videos, you know, a lot of them were like around like my age. So I've seen the stuff they were doing, and it really excited me to move towards that path, learning those things.
So you figured I could do that. If they could do that, I could do that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Now, as you're making your films, I mean, you know, we all watch movies and we all kind of have an idea of what it's like on the fan side, but on the filmmaker side, like what's your favorite part? Like when you're making your films, what's the part that gets you gassed up? You ready to rock and roll when you get to do this?
Okay, well, the main thing would be the special effects or visual effects. I guess you could say like the movie magic. So I guess if you like watching like superhero movies, like watching someone fly and take off, like those impossible things in real life but are possible in movies through computer generation and whatnot.
Is that something that, you know, you had to learn at school, or you teaching yourself? Is it kind of trial and error?
Well, yeah. Well, right now I'm still learning, but yeah, I'm self-taught. I go to school. I learn a lot about theory and mainly. So I have a few production classes where we do hands-on stuff. But as far as like the actual effects go, like on the computer, I mainly use YouTube University, basically just look up videos and find tutorials and try to follow along, and then I take those techniques and flip them and use them in ways that fit for the situations that I'm trying to do in my own film.
What's the most challenging part? Like when you're doing it, I mean, is that difficult to do? Do you find that, you know, you self-taught, I mean, you finding that to be easy, or you find that challenging?
Well, I mean, it's intimidating at first, because you'll go in, you know, you might have a big idea in your head, and then, you know, you probably feel like, I'm never going to be able to do that. That's like, you know, that's Avatar level, or, you know, Star Wars. Like, that's too big for me. But, I mean, if you start just taking a little aspect of it at a time, you know, and just break it down, find a tutorial on just, like, how to do a muzzle flash. You know, I would start there, and, you know, the tutorials could range from, like, 5 minutes to, you know, an hour, you know, so, like, you got to have patience as well. So it's kind of intimidating going in. But, when you start sitting down and being patient and trying it out, it's rewarding when you start to get it, and you start catching on, and it starts making more sense to you, and you start to believe that, I can do this.
Right.
So it's not that hard, you know. I mean, it's not as good as the other guy, but I think if I keep doing it a couple more times, it'll be as good.
Are you doing it all on your own, like the writing, directing, producing? I mean, you pretty much kind of doing it all, or you just directing?
Most recently, I've been working with another writer, Jamal Smith. He goes to my school. We worked on a few projects together. Most recent film we did was Gerodis, which was a prequel to another sci-fi film that we wrote together called Charged, and we submitted that to Campus Movie Fest, where you have to make a movie in a week.
Is that your thing, sci-fi?
Most recently, like I only made 2 sci-fi films recently. Because when I first started making movies, I played it safe, where I would make movies about my little brother or whoever's around me, you know, in my backyard kind of film, you know. But I always knew that I wanted to do things beyond the backyard. You know, I wanted to take it to other places.
When you mentioned your little brother, I mean, when you're making these films, I mean, is you bringing your family in? Is he in the films? Are you searching for talent? I mean, who comprises the talent in your movies?
Well, originally, like when early on, when I first started making films, I just used people around me. There's no casting or anything. My little brother was there. He was like playing the video game or something. I said, "Hey, come on, be in my video." You know, he might be like, "No, I don't want to be in the video," or you know, "I'm not looking fresh." You know, I'm not wearing the, you know. And I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. You can just be in the video." So a lot of times it's real spontaneous. I just use whoever is there. One
of my favorite films of yours features your little brother. It's called My Block. Why don't you tell the listeners about My Block and how you used a few, I'll say, tricks to give you some visuals in that film?
Okay, well, My Block was an experimental film for my Production 1 class, and I played with the, I guess, reverse motion. So basically, I would shoot a whole scene. I guess all right. Well, basically, I told my little brother to walk backwards, and I had this whole scenery planned out where he would walk backwards, listening to the music. But if you play it forwards, it looks like he's walking forward, but the universe around him will be moving backwards. So that's what I was playing with in that video, was experimenting with the reverse motion of the film, and I also incorporated with some other like special effects, like spaceships and muzzle flashes and whatnot.
When you are making your films and you're, you know, looking towards inspiration, are there any filmmakers or actors or producers or just kind of people that have already blazed the trail ahead of you that you look to? Anybody that we would recognize their name if you said it?
I mean, they're mainly, I don't know, I'm really big on, I guess, YouTube. So I really like, you know, Freddie Wong, Corridor Digital, Clinton Jones. I don't know if they're like popular enough, but I like, mainly because they're close to my age and they're doing things that I feel like if I work hard enough, you know, I can compete and, you know, and learn.
Okay, and this is Carlton. What is your YouTube page? Give us that information.
Oh, yeah, my YouTube page is youtube.com/Guerrilla Tactics, and that's GORILLATACTIX.
All right, this is Jay Grizzly here. What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going?
Nothing much, man. Look, I was checking out the Lunchtime Warfare short film, and I saw the dude in the lunch line with the dreads. I see him on a lot of YouTube videos. Is he an actor or he's just somebody you know? Because he's very animated. He's got some acting chops, in my opinion.
Yeah. So I linked up with him through Class Clown Film, Chase Walker, you know, DJ Southernbread. I worked with him on a couple short films, and he linked up with Emmanuel Hudson.
Right.
He's really big on YouTube.
Yeah.
And they were down to collab on a movie, so we went ahead and worked together on making an epic short film.
The lunchroom is crazy.
You mentioned epic, and when we talked before, you used that word before, epic. Why don't you tell us what you mean when you say epic?
I guess big adventure. You know, I guess especially with Lunchtime Warfare, it's like we created a big adventure in, like, you know, a small space that you wouldn't expect, like a high school lunchroom, and we had this like crazy, like, it's over the top, that you wouldn't really expect coming from a lunchroom, So I guess that's the epicness, like the bigness and the blockbuster feel.
And a follow up to that, is there a particular audience when you're filming that you're shooting for? I mean, I have high schoolers, and I can imagine when I show them this, they can identify with that. So when you're going into making a film, do you have a particular audience that you're shooting for, or is it that you want the art to catch whoever's catching it?
Well, I'm kind of getting a feel for my audience right now. Right now, I'm just experimenting with all kinds of films. So, for the most part, I do try to make everything, I guess, family where anybody can watch it.
Right.
It's not like too over the top. But at the same time, I am trying to just experiment with, if I feel like making like a zombie movie, of course it'll be gore. So, but at the same time, I could make, something to do with, I guess, like bullying or something at school. So I can do all kinds of things. So I'm still just trying to figure out my audience. I guess really I'm focused on things that interest me right now.
One thing that when we talked before, again, another one of my favorite films is The Pencil. A lot of times people kind of read more into stuff than maybe the creator had thought about, and that was kind of the gist of the conversation that we had. Why don't you share for the listeners your thought behind The Pencil real quick, and then I'll share with them what mine is.
Okay. Yeah. So with The Pencil was a narrative film that we did for my Production 1 class as well. I worked on that with Trent Harris and Claire. They were in my class. So basically, we were just playing with the ideas of, once again, creating big adventures based off of simple ideas. So simple ideas about a pencil, and it had magical powers. And I like the idea of how you can use how the pencil has power in a way where if you sharpen it, it stays sharp, and then you can use its power. But every time you use it, it gets dull, and then the power drains out, so you have to resharpen it. Kind of giving it where it's you got to reload it, kind of like a weapon in that way. So we were just trying to play with something, make something comedic, at the same time it's fun.
I actually liked it because where I was looking at it is the pen is powerful. How you kept charging it up, and you can, use it against, I guess, your opponent if you use it in the proper way. And they were kind of going at each other. For those folks who are wondering what the hell we're talking about, hit us up on the website, on the Steppin Marcus J fan page, as well as on Ndosi's website as well, on YouTube, which he gave it out a minute ago. We'll have him give it out again before he wraps up. Last question I want to ask you is about the award that you won and the film that you won the award for. Why don't you tell us about the award and then tell us about the film?
Okay. So last year I won a Silver Tripod Award for Best Picture at my school at Georgia State University, and it's in the Campus Movie Fest, and it's the largest student film festival. And the parameters are where you just have to make a film in a week, shoot it and edit it in that week. So the film I did was Spilled Milk, and it wasn't the original idea at first. I had this other idea, but things didn't work out as far as logistics, as far as it started getting dark and locations weren't planned out. So it was the night before we had to turn the movie in, and it was just spur of the moment. We made a movie about two guys fighting over the last drop of milk, but it's in a way where it gets a little intense, but it's not that serious.
Without giving it away, it definitely gets somewhat intense. Of the ones that I watched, that was definitely one of my favorite ones. I understand certainly why you won it. I got a question from the fan page that I wanted to go ahead and ask you. Basically, what they're asking is, when you've got high profile entertainers, and the question used the name Jay-Z, You got in a high profile entertainer, somebody like Jay-Z, and they use their resources to build things like bars and nightclubs and things of that sort. He's asking your thoughts on why they wouldn't use those same resources to build up the art film schools and things of that sort. Any thoughts on something like that, as far as, you know, how you could benefit from the funding if they chose to go in a different direction?
I mean, I guess I wouldn't really know right now. I mean, I guess it would be, I would really know how to answer that.
I guess if it was me, I would, you know, I mean, you in a perfect world, you'd like to see these folks kind of spread out their resources, but, you know, people have to kind of follow their path, and, you know, spending money to make money, I would wonder how much money they would make to produce a school. Ultimately, the people coming out of the school may eventually make money, whereas they know if they made a club, they can make some money tonight. That's kind of how I respond to that question, Stephen, but you know, as the filmmaker, Ndosi has his opinion, and we can just, you know, respect each other's opinion with regards to that. Final question, Ndosi, how are we finding you? I know you mentioned it before. How are we going to get access to Spilled Milk, Lunchtime Warfare, The Pencil, and My Block, which are the 4 films that we mentioned here tonight?
Okay, all my films are on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Guerrilla Tactics, and that's GORILLATACTIX. Now you can figure it out.
You got it, man. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Ndosi, I appreciate you joining us tonight.
Keep up the good work, brother.
Keep up the good work. Definitely keep on making films. Hold the line for me for a second. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have an abbreviated What the Hell segment. We got a missing child. The dating pool diva has recently joined us. We about to get it in. Marcus J. Ain't no half stepping. We'll be back in a minute.